Now let us start with your next poem. So the next poem is lines composed a few miles above Tinton Abbey on revisiting the banks of the Wye during a tour, July 13, 1798. The name of the poet is William Wordsworth. Now let us read something about the poet. So open your books on page number 22. William Wordsworth, born in 1770, died in 1850. So I am reading out from your book only. His father, John Wordsworth, was a country solicitor, but by the age of 14, he had lost both his parents. Now, a thing to remember about him is that from his infancy, he was surrounded by beautiful objects of nature. So he was born in Lake district, and he was a great lover of nature. Since his childhood, he had been surrounded by beautiful sights of nature, and it is no surprise that he is perhaps the most prolific poet of nature in English. So he has written the maximum number of poems on nature that a poet has ever written. He was a great lover of nature, a great worshipper of nature. So he not only loved the physical beauty of the objects of nature, but he also sensed a spirit in nature, a very living spirit that can uh, be a perfect guide, teacher. Yeah? So, according to him, nature is the best teacher, the best guide to guide a human being in the course of life. So, according to him, nature also teaches us morality. Here, a person who is close to nature cannot ever do anything that is morally wrong. So, now some things uh, to note about this poet. He was a great friend of S.T. Coleridge, and together they wrote lyrical ballads. So, this poem was a part of lyrical ballads, yeah, and lyrical ballads were published in 1798. Another thing to remember about him is that he became poet laureate in 1843, and he is remembered for his simple style, and his poetry was marked by spontaneity based on emotion, passion, and sensibility. Okay, so now he believed that nature was the prime teacher and a great moral force in shaping the life. Now, let us start with the poem. Now, let us first concentrate on the title of the poem. So, the title of the poem is Lines Composed Above a Few Miles, above Tinton Abbey. Okay, so what is Tinton Abbey? So, first of all, let us look at that. So, Tinton Abbey means a building where nuns and monks live. Okay, so there is no mention of this building in the poem again. It is just a landmark that he is telling us about. कि सिर्फ उन्हें निशानी जी थोड़ी जी दसी है कि कित्थे के पोएम कंपोज की गई सी few miles above Tinton Abbey. So Tinton Abbey was this beautiful building that was built in 12th century. Okay? So now it is not in a very good condition, but still many people visit it. And this is the river Wye, here on the banks of which the poet composed this beautiful poem. Okay, so this is the river Wye. So a great worshipper of nature. So now this is the Lake district in which he grew up and where he developed this deep love for nature. Now let us start with the poem. देखो you know, 5 years have passed. Okay, so in the very beginning, the poet tells us that this is his second visit to this place. So again, after 5 years, he is standing on the banks of the river Vai. Okay, so 5 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਉੱਥੇ ਆਇਆ ਦੇਖੋ 5 years have passed, 5 summers with the length of 5 long winters. Okay, so now again we have to pay attention to the words that he has chosen. So now if we think about it, 5 years is not a very big period of time, not a very long period of time, but here he has used the word long. It means this just tells us about his love for nature. Yeah, that a separation of 5 years seems to him to be a very long separation. Yeah, so ਕੀ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਕਿ I have come here after 5 years. Yeah, 5 years, that means 5 summers along with 5 long winters. So I have come here after a gap of 5 years. And again I hear these waters rolling from their mountain springs with a soft inland murmur. So again he hears the waters of the river Vai coming down from the mountains, yeah, and running down from the mountains into you may say into the interior of the countryside, inland. Okay, so ਉੱਪਰੋਂ ਦੀ ਨਦੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਦੀ ਨੂੰ ਸੁਣ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਨੀਚੇ ਆਉਂਦਿਆਂ ਹੋਇਆ. But the river is not creating a very loud sound. It is not creating a very big noise. Okay, so it is coming down very softly. Once again do I behold these steep and lofty cliffs. So once again he is fortunate enough to look at, behold ਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਕੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ, to see these steep and lofty cliffs. Now steep ਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਵੀ ਕੀ ਹੈ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਕਿ very high cliffs, ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਢਲਾਨ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਸਿੱਧੀ ਹੈ. The very tall mountains, and lofty also means very tall, that on a wild secluded scene impress thoughts of more deep seclusion. So these cliffs, they put him in a thoughtful reflective mood. Yeah, the sight of these very high mountains, very tall mountains, the very sight puts him in a thoughtful reflective mood. And another thing is dekho and connect the landscape with the quiet of the sky. So these cliffs visually link this quiet landscape to the calm silence of the sky. ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਇੰਨੀਆਂ ਉੱਚੀਆਂ ਮਾਊਂਟੇਨ ਟੌਪਸ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਫਿਰ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਕਨੈਕਟ ਕਰ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਕਿਹਨੂੰ, ਇੱਕ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਲੈਂਡ ਨੂੰ ਅਤੇ ਸਕਾਈ ਨੂੰ. ਮਤਲਬ ਉਹ ਇੰਨੀਆਂ ਟੌਲ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ that they seem to reach the sky. The days come when I again repose here under this dark sycamore and view these plots of cottage ground. Okay, so again that day has come. Okay, so you can make out that it has been a long awaited day. The days come when I again repose here. So when he has the opportunity to sit under these trees, these beautiful sycamore tree, and view these plots of cottage ground, and he is able to look at these plots of cottage ground, the land that surrounds these beautiful cottages. Now what is a cottage? Cottage is a small house, that is that generally is there in the rural areas. So again he has the opportunity to view these cottage grounds. Cottage grounds का मतलब ही की है the grounds surrounding the cottages that are there. So he is looking at the cottages, these orchard tufts, which at this season with their unripe fruits are clad in one green hue. Hue means color. Okay, so he is able to look at these grounds that surround these cottages, and there are these orchards. Orchards are the fruit trees. So the orchards are at this point of time completely green, ਪੂਰੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਉਹ green ਹੈਗੇ. Why? Because the fruit on them, the fruit on the trees is totally unripe. Okay? That is why they look one with the rest of the greenery. Okay? Because the fruit has yet not become ripe. So these orchard tufts, which at this season with their unripe fruits are clad in one green hue. Hue means color. So otherwise ਜਿਹੜਾ fruit ਹੁੰਦਾ ਉਹ ਕੀ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ, it is of a different color. Okay? But here the fruit is yet green, it has not ripened. That is why even the fruit trees become one with the rest of the greenery and lose themselves amid groves and copses. मतलब वो भी पेड़ भी इक्को ਜਿਹੇ ਲੱਗ ਰਹੇ, even the fruit trees, क्योंकि the fruit is not yet ripe. Once again I see these hedgerows, hardly hedgerows, little lines of sportive wood run wild. So again, after a gap of 5 years, he is able to have a look at the hedges, yeah, uh, that act as the boundaries of these cottages. So he is able to have a look at the hedges. Yeah? But these hedges are not maintained properly. So now he can see that these hedges are rather running wild. Clear? They have not been trimmed, so they cannot be even called hedgerows. Clear? They are not making neat lines, because they have not been trimmed. So we ਕੀ ਲੱਗਦੇ, they also become one, they also seem to be a part of the woods. ਮਤਲਬ ਕਿ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੱਟਿਆ ਵਗੈਰਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਇਆ ਠੀਕ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ. These pastoral farms green to the very door. So these farmhouses, these cottages are green to their very door. ਬਾਹਰ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਤੱਕ ਕੀ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਮਤਲਬ ਦਰਵਾਜ਼ੇ ਤੱਕ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਡੋਰ ਹੈਗਾ ਉੱਥੋਂ ਤੱਕ ਸਾਰੀ ਗ੍ਰੀਨਰੀ ਹੀ ਗ੍ਰੀਨਰੀ ਹੈ. Okay, so you can well imagine the beautiful scene. And wreaths of smoke sent up in silence from among the trees. And he can also see the rings of smoke that are being sent up in silence. Okay, so another thing to notice is the complete silence that pervades the scenery. ਸੋ ਕੀ ਦੇਖ ਰਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਧੂਏ ਦੇ ਛੱਲੇ ਵੀ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹੈ, ਦਰਖਤਾਂ ਚੋਂ ਦਿਖ ਰਹੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ. ਦੇ ਆਰ ਗੋਇੰਗ ਅਪ from among the trees with some uncertain notice, as might seem, of vagrant dwellers in the houseless woods, or of some hermit's cave where by this fire the hermit sits alone. So now he can see those rings that are going up from the those trees, so as though they are delivering some unknown message. Okay, so now he starts imagining from where those rings of smoke might be coming. So they could be coming from some wandering people. Vagrant ਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਇਹੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਆਪਣਾ ਕੋਈ ਘਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ. From some wandering people living in the woods, or they might be those rings of fire ਜਿਹੜੇ ਧੂਏ ਦੇ ਛੱਲੇ ਹੈਗੇ. When somebody cooks something ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਧੂਆਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈ ਨਿਕਲ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈਗਾ. So maybe some people who are homeless, maybe they are living in the woods, or maybe these rings of smoke are coming from a cave of a religious person who is living in that cave, from some hermit's cave. Okay, so I think this is an easy portion. So now I make an end here, and we'll continue with this in my next lecture. and we'll go fast next time.